Today I thought I'd show you some of the unusual fruiting plants that we have in our yard and a couple of the nut trees that we have growing in our yard. All these plants are really easy to grow. Some are larger and some are smaller. I'll start with the Australian finger lime. These are highly sought after by restaurants. They use them as garnishes and in desserts and in drinks. So this is what they look like on the inside when you cut them open. Really easy to grow. They usually grow in the understory, rainforest understory, so that's why I've got it here in a sort of a protected area. And this is another different type of one. There's a few different types. So this is miracle fruit. These are also quite frost sensitive, so I keep them here where it's more protected. This is what the little fruit looks like. That one's quite ripe. They're called miracle fruit because when you have them, you have one of these and then you taste something sour, it'll taste sweet. So this one's a Brazilian cherry. It also needs a bit of a protected spot. It doesn't like the frost. It gets little red fruits that are sort of between sweet and tangy. And if you refrigerate the fruit, it makes them have a nicer flavour, but they're actually quite nice and the birds like them as well. It hasn't got fruit at the moment, but I'll show you a picture of the fruit. So this is a dragon fruit. These have become quite a designer fruit of late. They're so easy to grow. I mean, just cut this piece off, stick it in some potting mix, and it'll grow into a plant. I'm actually going to go down in summer, next summer, down to a place in northern New South Wales, hopefully, and get some different varieties of dragon fruit, but this is just one that I was given a cutting of and it's been really neglected. And still it's managed to form a nice fruit. A lot of other flowers coming. Hopefully they fruit as well. So this one's an ice cream bean tree, Inga edulis. It's quite a well-used plant in permaculture because it's also nitrogen fixing. So it puts nitrogen into the soil and you can use it as part of your chop and drop system for a permaculture food forest. I grow these because they're wonderful fruit. This one's a bit yuck on the end, but the fruit's really tasty. And also the wild birds really love them. The flowers are just about finished there, but the lorikeets and a lot of the other birds get into the fruit. Oh, there's a flower down in here. I'll show you a close-up of that in a minute. So they're quite frost sensitive and they don't like the wind, so that's why we chose this spot here, but I've had to give it a lot of extra water and quite a bit of attention in our area. If you're in a more tropical area, they grow no problem. They'll grow in the wild and they self-seed quite easily in the wild in a good climate. So this is the fruit of the ice cream bean tree. You see why it's called ice cream, and it's got all through it it's got nice big seeds, so you can grow them as well. So these are pomegranates. They're more of an old-fashioned fruit, but they're incredibly easy to grow. They'll take a lot of different climates, and that's what they look like on the inside. They're actually quite tasty, so very easy to grow. You can get these larger ones, and you can also get a smaller type. So this guy is a sea grape. They usually grow along the coastline, but it's managing quite well in our heavy clay soil, which is unusual. And they don't really like the frost, but it's doing quite well there. It hasn't fruited yet, but apparently the fruit tastes quite tart, but it's considered a delicacy in a lot of areas. Unusual. And this guy, with its giant spikes that catch you when you're riding past on the ride-on mower, is a key apple. They get little orange fruits. It's not fruiting at the moment, but they get little orange fruits that taste like an apricot. So you actually need a male and a female of these plants so that they can cross-pollinate. So you need to put a few of them in, somewhere where you can put them out of the way where you're not going to get spiked. And they actually use these in Africa. They come from Africa. They use them as a hedge to keep the lions out. Quite a fascinating plant, that one. So this is a Narrandilla. We've only just got this one, I haven't had it for very long. This is its little fruits here, and we haven't tried them yet, but apparently they taste like a cross between a pineapple and a lemon, so quite tangy. Looking forward to trying them. I've got it in quite a protected spot here because it's very frost sensitive, and even the sun, too much sun burnt its leaves quite a lot. There's a spiky type as well as the non-spiky, and this is the non-spiky type. I'll take some cuttings of that when it gets a bit bigger and put it through the yard. So this one is a Malabar chestnut. It's a medium-sized tree, and it actually gets nuts on it that are quite edible. You can eat those either raw or roasted. And they also use it if you need a flour substitute. You can grind down the nuts and make flour out of it. It also gets large white flowers that are fragrant, so that's an added bonus. So this is a bisexual pawpaw. He's just started to get a fruit on it. Not the most unusual fruit, but I'm actually chasing a mountain pawpaw, which is much more frost tolerant. And it's a more, more unusual, harder to get pawpaw. This is a macadamia. It's another Australian native plant. They're grown quite widely commercially now, and they're really easy to grow in your backyard. This one has probably been in for about 4 years. You can see it's gotten big. They're quite a big tree, but you can keep it pruned to whatever you want. That's a macadamia. So in the last video we made about fruit trees, I showed you the peanut butter fruit, and this is a little guy that I've grown from seed, just to show you that it's really easy to produce more plants. You can either grow them from seed or take cuttings, or there's heaps of YouTube videos on how to do different things like that. But this is super easy. You take a seed, put in some potting mix, and you've got a whole nother plant. So thanks so much for watching today, and we endeavour to do a lot more videos on gardens and growing your own food. So keep watching, subscribe if you like.